been guest number 3, and now guest 177. Jared, fill the space.
What's up, guys? Everybody go follow my boy, Tommy Kerrigan, at TPCP Podcast. Check it out. Smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, and follow my boy on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. He's all over the place. And the man of the hour, Winnie the Pooh.
I got that shirt because you know how they say Xi Jinping, the president of China, looks like Winnie the Pooh?
Yeah.
Well, I had on that Brigadier General Robert Spalding III, who's an author, who's a former B-2 Spirit pilot, used to work in the Pentagon, the National Security Council, and the Joint Chiefs of Staff. And he's going to come back on a second time. We're going to talk about China again. He wrote a book called Stealth War, all about China.
Nice.
And he even includes in the book how certain images are banned. It's like, and randomly, I don't know, something like Winnie the Pooh, just throwing out an example, like clearly making fun of Xi Jinping. Mm-hmm. So I ordered this online and it got here today. So when next time he comes out, I'm gonna wear it, and I'm just not gonna. I'm not gonna acknowledge the shirt at all. I'm gonna tell him not to say anything, just like nothing. Just dude. He was in Obama's National Security Council. He's by far the most impressive guest. I mean, behind you, of course. But, yeah. So you're looking beautiful.
I know, man. You're looking fantastic as well.
I just gotta take some drugs.
I hear you.
Good for the brain.
Some water.
A little bit of heroin, a little bit of meth. Mm-hmm. Just that morning fucking cocktail. But thanks for doing it, man.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Yeah, so
glad you could have me.
Thank you. I've been trying to fucking get you back on. You're a tease, and you're hard to get. For everyone listening, this is Jared Bohannon, who was guest number 2 and guest number 3, all the way back when Tom Brady played for the Patriots. Yeah. And I've been trying to get him back on here ever
before
since.
Coronavirus.
Yeah, that was Jesus. That was
coronavirus had started, but it was in China still.
No, I don't think, because you're episode 2. So yeah, no, this was like second week of December. So yeah, 15th, you're right.
December 12th, December 15th, something like that.
You're brilliant. Who's the guy that was on the Pats that was let go after like a game? Is it Antonio Brown?
Yeah.
Antonio Brown was on the Pats.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, and and I've been trying to get you on since. Jared started a podcast last year that semi-inspired me, like a semi-chub, and I'm a little upset that he's not still doing it, but I'll let it fly.
Life happens.
Yeah, it sure fucking does. Yeah, man. So, what the fuck's going on, dude?
Let's see. I still do a little bit of streaming, not much. It's been fun, but I have Windstream here, and it's just garbage internet, so I can't get enough upload speeds. Or my upload speed isn't high enough for me to actually stream and have a good frame rate. I'm just skipping. I'm sounding like a robot half the time.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
But whenever I get a good day, I like to throw up a game or two. I'll go play Persona or some shit like that.
Yeah, I need to figure that out because my internet sucks dick. But I'm 30 and live above my parents' garage, so I can't really be like calling the shots. Hey, mom and dad, let's team meeting, all right? I know my other 2 brothers have jobs and have been out of the house for 8 years. One just got engaged. And I know I'm wearing a Winnie the Pooh shirt and work at a liquor store, but hey, family meeting, all right? I need gigabit upload speeds, all right? I know you're trying to retire, but fucking, I'm putting my foot down.
I got things to do.
Yeah, it doesn't work like that, so I just gotta make do with what I have, right? But yeah, I wanted to put it up because I've got it on a lot of websites, just because I'm horrified of it getting taken down somewhere and losing it. I've also got a ton of fucking hard drives recently. Here's one of them. I got, I'm built, shockproof, waterproof, dustproof, 4 terabytes. Pretty decent. I got 2 of these. Add data? Yeah. I'm trying these out. I have some other ones. Silicon Power, Western Digital, Seagate. Haven't had a bad experience yet. And I'm building NORAD, the nuclear bunker.
I've seen the ones that you bury in your backyard and stuff.
Well, no, I mean NORAD, the actual nuclear bunker.
I have no idea what that is.
NORAD it's in Cheyenne Mountain in Colorado. It was built in the late 50s. It's like any movie where it's like the big screens and the president's underground. That's NORAD.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I decided I'm gonna build my own NORAD, so I'm getting like a fireproof safe. I'm gonna put these hard drives in there, just so no matter what happens, I still have them. It's also work great for blackmail if I ever have anyone I need to blackmail. But
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but that's not an interesting topic, so I'm just gonna cut that right there. But but that's the end of that. Yeah, man.
What'd you do for your long weekend for Labor Day, man?
I worked at a liquor store. Yeah, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, which is, I mean, like I said, I live at home. I don't drink, so it's, to me, it's I don't fucking care. It's
right.
I like it, man. I like where I work. It's fun. It's fun watching the zoo of people come in and just a bunch of healthy misogynism and womanizing and talking about customers behind their back and yelling at people. You gotta love those fucking barred out dumb sorority bitches that come in there. I just need a couple bottles of Malibu and then just shatter them. This literally happened 2 days ago. Foot's bleeding. I was trying to grab two. I should have grabbed one. Jesus Christ, bitch. You need a shot of Narcan. Yeah, I know, right? It's like, goddamn. But, yeah. So, I wanted to get on Twitch, but I'm too stupid to figure it out. I don't know if you remember, it was like a couple months ago I was texting you.
Yeah. I mean, you can stream through Twitch. I don't know if you could just upload clips to it, though.
No, you have to stream like a certain number of episodes or something, and then you can upload. But like I can't stream this shit, like, because my internet's so fucking bad. But plus that's what I like. And yeah, it's like you said. I mean, I'm like a stickler for like audio quality above all else, video quality second. But so like when audio's like fucked up, I'll like reschedule the podcast, because when it comes through fucked up and it literally it sounds like you're talking through like a Jack in the Box like order thing, like there's no point in even doing it. It's a waste of everyone's time. People are gonna listen to the first 10 seconds and go, fuck this.
I'm tired of hearing this already.
It's like that's no longer like a luxury. Like, that is like the baseline requirement of a podcast. Doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if you're Joe Rogan. It doesn't matter if you're this podcast. Your podcast had brilliant audio quality, and like that's like the first. You have to have it, right? It's
the first step.
There's some basic things, man. I'm trying to get a girl. It's like, okay, well, first, like, you should probably open a bank account.
Yeah.
Get your license.
Take a shower.
Take a shower. Yeah, let's start even smaller. Did you shave? Yeah. Shower, all right. Let's work on getting your driver's permit. You're 30, right? Right. I have a driver's permit. I'm not pointing myself out, but it's like, and then you can start looking for these quote bad bitches that you want.
Yeah.
But
these quote unquote bad bitches.
First, it's like Duncan Tria. These quote. You said let's see right here on your bad bitches. Yes. So I'm looking at a 6-12 month time span before we even leave the house.
Think about doing that.
That's what Duncan Trussell said. He was like, man, like the ego is so, that hurts to do. He's like, the ego is so megalomaniacal, He's like, when everything's going good in life, it's very easy to make big plans. And he's like, the first thing, he's like, I want to help some other people in my life. He's like, I want to cure world hunger. I want to get rid of world hunger. And it's like, no. The ego is like, let's do these grandiose things. And it's like, no, man, start small, Fucking, you got a little disposable income. Well, let's try out philanthropy. Maybe go donate to the YMCA. Bring some clothes to the homeless shelter. But the ego is like, I want to get clean drinking water for everyone. And he's like, meanwhile, you haven't shaved your balls in a month. There's cat piss all around your apartment. You don't know where your pants are. And you're two payments behind on rent, but you're like, I'm gonna get clean drinking water to everyone in the sub-Sahara, and it's like baby steps, bro, baby steps.
You gotta start somewhere.
Wipe the dust off your Xbox.
Not there.
Yeah, wipe the dust off your Xbox. Hey, look, now there's less dust. Okay, step 2, like just put some pants on, get the Dorito dust off your tits, like. And I'm the biggest guilty one of that. I gotta wipe it off every morning.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I do the same.
Yeah, dude. I got my titties, and I'm like. Phew.
I'm a grease in my pocket kind of guy. I'll just wipe them off inside my liner in my pocket like a big piece of shit.
Oh yeah, no. Or back of the jeans or something.
Yeah.
And that's when I'm wearing jeans for work. I don't ever wear jeans otherwise. It's just I got my like loose fitting lazy clothes. But yeah, so whenever I'm like, man, like, you know, all my friends are married and have jobs, I'm like, baby steps, man. Baby steps. I started depositing in a bank account for the first time in like a decade, like a month ago.
God.
Yeah, and it's like baby steps. Let's finish these graphic design courses. How come I can't get ex-presidents on the podcast? Let's just keep going. Let's get the audio right.
You've had a line of impressive guests though recently.
Thank you, sir. Got a couple more lined up coming on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Next Wednesday, Dr. Eben Alexander, the author of Proof of Heaven. He's a neurosurgeon who fell into a coma in 2010, I think. A very specific kind of like infectious thing that apparently the survival rate's something like 1 in 10 million. And it's like completely not hereditary. It's like getting hit by an asteroid, like or struck by lightning. It's like sometimes the God just rolls the dice and is like, fuck you. But he fell into that but remembers everything, but not just in your like typical fall into a coma and remember everything where, you know, you can hear the doctors or people. He remembers going to the afterlife. Like,
oh God.
Fully describes it all. Was in it for 7 days. This guy is like a world-renowned brain surgeon. So he's not some dipshit like me. It's like may or may not have been high. Like, oh, I saw Jesus. Like, no, it's like a fucking like top-tier surgeon. And he wrote a book called Proof of Heaven. And I read it back in college. And I'm going to reread it again. But he's coming on next Wednesday. We're going to talk about that. And then a book I started listening to last week and I'm fucking hooked on. And I emailed the author. It's the only time I've ever emailed an author before I was even finished with the book. Because, like, I emailed tons of people. It's like a 95% rejection rate, right? But this guy, I was like 10 minutes into the book, and I was like, I want him on. And it's, oops, let me turn that down so I don't get yanked. It's this guy. He wrote Blitzed, Drugs in the Third Reich. I think it's mirrored.
Nice.
Is it coming up mirrored? Fucking whatever. Yeah, Blitzed, Drugs in the Third Reich by Norman Ohler. It's all about just... Dude, it's how the Nazis make Hunter S. Thompson look like a teetotaler. They were like, I always thought it was like, yeah, they're on all sorts of pills. And I mean, like, wake up, open up, like, the velvet-lined, like, oak box, take out their like, custom manufactured gold syringe, shoot up some morphine, and then put on socks and start the day. Like, insane shit. Insane shit, yeah. Everyone getting ready for a meeting with the Fuhrer. The Fuhrer's all hopped up, but then all the top generals, they would go to the doctor. Morel, that was the doctor, Hitler's physician's name. They would all go to him, and they'd all have to get shit just to go bear Hitler. Because, you know, it's Hitler. Fucking, it's the real... Not he's like Hitler, I mean, it's the literal Hitler. Hopped up on meth. So all the top generals would go in there on Eucadol, Eukodal, and I was like, the fuck is Eucadol? And they're like, Eucadol, or more commonly known as oxycodone. And I was like, oh, okay. So these guys are all taking straight intramuscular and IV, lining up, doctor, you know, sanitize the arm, hit them with, and it's like, go get them, tiger. So Hitler's screaming on meth, and the rest are hopped up on painkillers.
Heroin, basically.
Yeah, oh, no. 15 times more addictive and euphoric than heroin. Whatever you could, yeah. And they're in this bombed out bunker, and they're like ordering the murdering of millions of Jews, and like these non-existent or these orders to these non-existent fronts that they're still delusionally like, we're gonna do. And you're like, oh, okay, that explains like the whole Nazi thing a little more, because you can't rationalize, like, there's always evil people, and there's people, you know, like reasonable men in unreasonable circumstances, like, you know, someone that murdered someone. It's like, all right, but, you know, that guy like raped this guy's kid, you know, this dad loses his cool and kills. It's like, all right, reasonable men in unreasonable circumstances. But to me, like, the thing that's always stuck out about Nazi Germany was like, it's such a cultured society, Germany, like seemingly always like a century ahead of everyone, you know, not barbarians. Yet this whole thing happens. To me, that's what's always made it so eerie. Stalin killed something like 5 times as many people as Hitler. but it's Stalin, it's Russia, it's, you know, it's okay, you know, it's kind of, you know, sun goes up, sun comes down, Russians kill people, got it. Genghis Khan, you're like, yeah, I get it, you know, it's fucking Genghis Khan, like, whatever. You kind of expect it. But with, like, the Nazis, it's like, here's this, like, world epicenter of, like, culture and medicine and aerospace engineering and just technical evolution to a level that no one else in the world has. But they're, like, systematically exterminating people, and it's not just like shoot everybody. It's like, no, like, get serial numbers, like, put them in, like, it's very, like, the first computers they did with it, IBM, like, they were kept records. Since the point of this whole rant is, like, that's what's always really kind of made them the most eerie to me, is that it was so... You have the person that goes into a mall and shoots everyone, and then you have, like, the serial killer that does it methodically. That's always just more unsettling. And it's always, again, reasonable men in unreasonable circumstances. You can kind of maybe put yourself in that situation. You're like, okay, you know, maybe I would snap. But I've never, ever been able to even come close to, like, where was the rationale behind what the Nazis did? And now it's starting to make sense. It's like, oh, they were in low Earth orbit high. Like, they were fucked up. They made fucking frat houses look like nun convents. Like, some of the shit they were doing, dude. Like, I'm beating you into submission. I'm not letting you talk. Sorry, Jared.
No, you're fine. I'm very interested.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. Where the Luftwaffe was headquartered in, I think, Berlin. They said they used to go in there, and it was... Do you remember that South Park episode where it's like the economy? This was back in like 2009 or something, where it's like the whole economy fails and like Randy Marsh becomes like a prophet. He's like, we must please the economy, yay! And like,
and Kyle saves it by paying off everybody's credit card debt with another credit card.
Yeah, and he's trying to return to Margaritaville the whole time. Yeah. You know, he keeps going up the chain of command. He's like, it's not possible, but it's improbable. But he finally goes to like the Federal Reserve, right? And he goes in there and there's a bunch of like judges in like black gowns, and they just have they cut the chicken's head off and they play the kazoo. Bailout! And he's like, this is what's behind it all, right? But that's what these soldiers were describing the head of the Luftwaffe headquarters. They're like, why are we doing all these insane things? Kind of like returning to Margaritaville. And apparently they went in there, and like these guys used to like come out of there and be like, that's who's in charge? The head guy, I think it was Goring. Not Goring. I don't know who. No, it wasn't him. It was some other fat guy. But he was like a fat morphine addict guy. And they used to call him, I think, the Fat Man. It wasn't Goebbels. They're all fucking Nazis. He went into the office, and this guy would be wearing pink silk pants with these like elf-like long like satin slippers, with like a medieval like shining armor like Celtic belt with a dagger hanging off of it, and then like a woman's blouse with long like purple puffed up sleeves. Makeup on, full makeup, and like red nails, and he'd be sitting in there. Meanwhile, they said like all the doors were open in all the offices. Everyone was just hammered, like shooting shit up, snorting pills, and he'd be in there, and you could tell the exact moment the drugs ran out, or like out of his system, because all of a sudden he would just get quiet and kind of like look around, like, what the fuck am I doing? And without saying a word, none of this is hyperbole. Without saying a word, he would get up, go to his own like private quarters, and then he'd come back like 30 seconds later, like eyes gleaming, like sit back down. He was just shooting up more morphine. So this was the head of the fucking German Air Force, and he said the soldiers would leave and be like, what? like it was literally like playing the kazoo with the chicken's head chopped off. They'd go in there and they're like, what the and they said it soon became a thing that they just had to try their hardest to keep a straight face, because if you start laughing, you'd probably be executed.
Right.
But he went in there and they said it was just like, holy shit. It's just, everyone was high as a fucking kite. Just, yeah. It's insane.
Right. Fucked up on oxys.
Oh, yeah. Fucked. And they had all these weird, like, serums and shit that the doctors were making, like, personally. They're like chopping up like bulls' testicles and lambs' livers and putting in like calcium and skim milk, and they just mix it up and shoot it, and they'd be like, "I have life," and it was just like this weird like almost horror film. If the Nazis could be any more horror filmish, but it's, I mean, like they had these like trains coming every day from the Ukraine, just these barrels full of like ox blood and like chicken feet, and they all this shit that they were just like mad scientists, like alchemists, just boiling shit up and shooting it. They were insane. They actually, so I take that back. When I said this kind of helps me understand Nazis a little more, I think I'm even more in the dark now.
You're even more confused.
It's just right. It's like pledgeship. You finally become a brother, and then you're like, "This is even fucking crazier behind the scenes."
It's even weirder.
They have no idea what's going on. You think that they're orchestrating it all. You're like, any one of these pledges could be on the verge of like an alcohol overdose. You're like, I remember that's the thing that hit me when I became a brother. I was like, there is no like hidden hand watching over this. There's no level-headed person.
Everybody's flying by the seat of their pants.
Everybody, yeah. This is a house of cards, and they're just building another story every day, and it's like, it's yeah. They're all just, yeah. You're juggling like flaming like bowling ball pins, and you're walking in like a kiddie pool of gasoline, and you're like, it is a sheer luck. Yeah, it is a sheer game of numbers that nothing bad has happened yet. And you're like, holy shit.
And now you look back now and you're like, wow.
You're like, wow.
That's bad.
Wow.
That's bad.
How do they still have that house? You're like, wow. Do you think they're still in that house?
It's an apartment complex now.
Oh, that house was bulldozed or something?
Yeah, they bulldozed that whole block, that whole corner right there. And they turned it into all apartment complexes.
I just felt like a weight was lifted.
Yeah, they're all gone. Don't worry.
It's gone. It's gone.
All evidence is.
I was about to say, yeah, yeah, it's like a serial killer's like backyard. Like someone came in, put it in a shopping mall, and he comes back 20 years later, and he's like, "I'm off.
I'm done.
I'm done. They fucking, it's not mine anymore. Too many hands have passed by."
Yeah.
It's just, how did I get out of that one?
I mean, there was a point where, because whenever they were told they got to fit, because PICAP got kicked off campus, so then they couldn't have.
Why?
They threw Purple Haze like 2 years ago, and they got a videographer to do a video. And in the video, there's like, so during Purple Haze, 2 girls passed out on campus.
Okay.
And they had gone to Purple Haze, but they got really fucked up at another party. And so that's when the police came by our party, because our party was still going. And in like 2 weeks later, after they got called to like IFC to do a meeting with all of them to try to save their ass. And then during that IFC meeting, they pulled up this video, and it's the two underage girls that passed out on campus, and they're getting like Malibu poured into their mouths from like one of our brothers. Bro, he's like standing on top of a bar pouring Malibu into both their mouths, and that was the nail in their coffin.
See that, if you can ignore the gap tooth, see that this tooth, see how it's kind of sharp in the center?
Yeah.
It's because my freshman year I blacked out at Purple Haze while pissing on the side of the house, and I face planted on the side of the wall, the brick wall, chipped that tooth.
So I went down to Valdosta for Friday this week.
Why?
And because a bunch of my buddies were down there.
Okay.
So I was like, I'll go see what everybody's up to. Then I'll, head out somewhere else Saturday. So I came down Friday, and we all went to Flops, and there's like all still PICAPs that work there and stuff.
I thought they were kicked off.
Well, the younger guys who were guest freshmen when I was a senior, they still work there. So they're technically not PICAPs anymore, but they work at the bar, and I'm friends with them. So we're getting like free drinks, we're having a good time, and it's COVID season, so it's pretty much empty there. There's like 20 to 40 people there probably, and I met this girl. I'm like dancing with this girl, and things are going well. We start making out on the dance floor, and we go to the front porch, and we're making out there, and she turns back around and she goes, "Oh, this is my boyfriend." his name's such and such. I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm like too drunk to defend myself at this point. All my friends are inside. I don't know what to do. And I was like, oh, yeah, well, I'm going to go. And she goes, oh, no, don't worry. My boyfriend's a cuck, and he wants you to have sex with me in front of him tonight. And I was like, this is not happening. And I ended up going inside to go close my tab.
Why didn't you go for it?
And what?
Why didn't you go for it?
I was going for it. I went inside to close my tab.
Oh, okay.
And so then my buddy Grant, and then you remember Graham?
I know Grant. I don't know Graham.
No, there was a kid in my pledge class named Graham, and he was like, hey, man, you're not doing that. So I'm pretty sure that they're going to murder you if you go do that, because it was a pretty rough looking couple.
Okay.
But
they actually might have. Yeah, they might have actually killed you.
I was a little too hammered to care at the time, but it was pretty insane. It was like probably the most insane thing that's ever happened to me at that point.
Yeah, I mean, but the thing is like, even that story right there, that just kind of sounds like Pi Cap in a microcosm. Just the general, why didn't you get murdered this weekend? Oh, my friend grabbed me, and I guess that just kind of kept me from doing it. It's like, but you should be dead. I guess I'm not. That's Pi Cap for 50 years.
Yeah, I should be dead.
So it's like the fact that they got kicked off campus was like, it was, it's like walking on like a, what is it, like a tightrope walker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, walking on a tightrope. Sure.
Yeah. It's like that guy that back in the 90s, he had the most Chad name ever. It was like Thad Thurgeson or something. I don't remember, but he was from, I think, Iceland. He looked like straight out of like Mighty Ducks. He looked like someone from like a Mighty Ducks character. Just total Chad. Barely spoke English, but in the 90s he used to jump out of skyscrapers in New York. Like base jumper. He was like the OG like base jumper. But it wouldn't even be like a bunch of GoPros and bros. It would just be him. And he would just like, he'd go into like the Chrysler building and like, oh, I'm meeting my attorney. And, he'd have the name of someone and he'd go up there. And then he'd just like, he'd like break open a window with a fire hose and then just jump out. And he'd have his bro on the street corner with like a fucking shitty and he'd land in the middle of the streets and he'd like cut the parachute and hear sirens wailing and he'd like jump into he's like the OG. It's like Thad like Capfell Thorgerson or something. I'll find it. But he jumped off the Empire State Building. I think the World Trade Center. There was like a group of people up there on like the roof doing like a tour. Apparently he popped up and like waved at everyone and then just jumped off the edge and like women were screaming. You would have thought it was a suicide. And and then he jumped off the face of like a 10,000 foot like mountain in like Iceland like during like a winter storm at night, naturally, and like parachute didn't open. He like hit the side of the mountain and was like killed instantly. Point is like it was only a matter of time. Like that's not a surprise.
That's kind of one of those things.
And like
where
you can tell, like this guy was not ever going to have a 9-to-5. That was this guy's life. This guy like fucked bitches, fucking, and then just jumped off shit. And it was just like maybe it ends today, maybe it ends in a decade. Either way, it's ending the same. So let's fucking light this joint.
Let's line it up while we can.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking bro, we're here for a good time, not a long time. That's Pi Cap.
I mean, I've always heard if you jumped off like the Empire State Building, you wouldn't die when you hit the ground. You would die like 10 stories before you hit the ground because you would just have sheer fright.
Yeah, if you're a pussy like you and me.
Yeah. I mean, that's how I would go out.
That's exactly how I'd die. Not this Chad.
I'd have a heart attack.
Yeah, not this Chad. This Chad, he didn't die when it wasn't 10 story from the ground. That's when he nutted. He was like, that's what this motherfucker did. This guy, I need to find his name right now. Jared, fill the gap. I think it was Capfell?
Thad Capfell?
Capfell base jumper?
Anyway, chat, leave a comment below if you know the name of this guy.
Capfell.
Tell us some of his great stats.
Thor Capfell. THORKPPFJELL. Yeah, this guy was in Thor Capfell. Thor Cap. What was it? Capfell?
Yeah, FJELL.
He's not even show up in. What the hell? Hold on. Wait. Jared, help me fill the gap.
You should post this on your Reddit and see if we can get some close friends of his on here.
I mean, I would imagine they're dead too.
I don't know. How long ago was this?
This guy was like the 90s. God damn it.
Man, that's not too long. Unless they just died in the same fashion.
I would imagine. I don't know how you can hang with Thor. I don't think he hangs around pussies.
I don't know, man.
Cap. Man, did they scrub him? His nickname was the Human Fly. Yeah.
Chad, if you got any good Thor Catfill stories, you just drop them right below for us. Smash that like button. Give me a subscribe if you're still around.
If I ever say smash that like button, murder me. Thor Catfill. The Human Fly.
The Human Fly.
Yeah, I mean... The yeah, I'll send it to you right now. Yeah, I don't know where we're going with. Yeah, no, but Thor is Pi Cap. Like that's what it is. It was just a matter of time. And went out how he probably wanted to go out. And that's what I would imagine. If Pi Cap was kicked off because their GPA was too low or something, that would have brought shame. But the fact that they got kicked out because two passed out girls were getting Malibu dumped on them, which was aired during a videography debut at an IFC trial. I mean, that is... Hey, salute, brothers. That is... Make me proud. That is
one way to go.
Yeah, that... I mean, I would have taken gas leak at the frat house that blew up and killed everyone. Like, that would have been equally called for, but...
Yeah, I'm surprised that never happened either.
Everything about that place.
It's just, I mean, it was we were at one point we were like, we'd punch a hole in the wall to like put our cigarette out, and like we'd throw our cigarette in the wall.
Oh yeah, no. Some of the boards in the house would absorb liquid better than others on the floor. So you'd always make sure that if you like spilled a beer, you just kind of like mop it into one area, and then there's just like this endless pit that would just suck it up.
Yeah,
this has been happening for like 30 years. There must have been like a fucking sinkhole under it or something. Oh, dude, it was... Yeah, we didn't have hot water when I lived in there. It's just the hot water just cut out one day, and it was just like...
And that's it.
Guess that's the way the cookie crumbles.
And all the ovens had, like, the front guard of it were all broken off on them.
Oh, yeah. Freezer would just turn on and off. So you go in there, and all the meat would just be,
all the meat's just rotten.
Yeah, and you'd just be like, well... Guess that's that. Sometimes you put your clothes in the dryer, and they'd come out dry. Other times it'd be moldy, and it'd be like... guess I'm throwing that away. But you didn't really have a big trash can, but you did have a fire pit. So I guess I'm just bringing this out to the old pit.
Yeah, it was just an endless fire pit. It wasn't even, not even like,
it wasn't a
have
pit.
bricks around it. It was just like a hole.
No,
in the yard.
it was a chopped in half metal 55 barrel can. I don't know if that changed, but when I was there...
Yeah, that changed. Kellen put a big fire pit around it, and then we ended up mistreating that. And
naturally.
It just became a pit in the middle of the fucking...
Yeah. In no way was there supposed to be a fire pit there. It wasn't aesthetically pleasing. It was just like, that's where things burned. All the grass was missing for like 15 feet around it. Oh, don't forget the power lines that went directly over the fire pit.
Oh yeah, only 6 feet over the yard.
Oh yeah. I remember when we were pledges. I remember what was Pierman. I remember he'd be burning shit, and I'd be like, "Why do you keep adding things?" And like everyone else would be like talking to these bitches, right? And then Pierman, who was like the most square jawed Chad of them all, had no interest in any of these women. He'd be like throwing on more pallets and be like, "I'm trying to burn the power line."
I'm trying to burn the line, yeah.
Yeah, and you'd see, like, it start to sag as, like, the plastic insulating sheathing started to come off. And you'd be like, I've never hit the actual, like, wire. And it was like, what am I doing? It's, like, Thursday at 4 a.m. Like, I should be in class. Why am I helping this guy? Like, burn this shit. It was like, what am I doing? Do you ever hear the story about when Bova... It was like right when we moved in there, and we were gonna clean it up, right? It was like August.
That was always the plan.
Always the plan. It was like August 2010, and then we kind of got it going for like a little bit. It was kind of clean, relatively, And I remember we had this bold idea to, like, let's get power in, like the one bedroom off to the side that was kind of like sunken. I think there just hadn't been power in there for like a couple of years. And we had this bold idea of let's try to get power in one of the rooms, right? I don't know, it was really ambitious. And so Bova goes up there. I mean, like, comically, he's like, it's like, shit, man, none of this shit's grounded. It's just all exposed wire, and, it's just surrounded by, was there insulation up there? No, it was all these old pie cap, like, composites going back, like, 30 years. It was just resting under all the wires.
Oh, God.
So just just a tinderbox, just waiting to burn down.
Just waiting to go.
Yeah, and Bo was like, I think I found something, and I swear to God, it was almost like a cheesy movie scene. But I remember we heard Bova scream and all the lights went out because he got shocked, and then he came back down. He's like, I can't feel my finger, but like the power slowly came back on. Because literally, I just remember him screaming, and I was like, that should have been a fatality. Like, there should be a coroner here. Like, we should all be getting investigated. Was there foul play? And holy shit.
It's not foul play. It's just negligence.
It's just negligence. Holy shit, dude.
And then you think about the times we would jump off the pool house roof into the pool. That pool house probably built in like 1960. Like.
Oh yeah, held together with staples and duct tape.
Yeah, got full grown, and we were not small guys. We're all about 240.
Yeah, 4 or 5 of them at a time. Yeah, standing up there with this waterlogged roof. God knows this thing wasn't waterproofed.
No, yeah, definitely not.
Yeah.
Nothing's outdoor rated on it. It's just there. It's
nothing. It was
structure.
built by pledges under the hatred of like an angry drunk brother. Like, this wasn't built by like a construction company. This was pieced together and then like loosely painted. That's one thing
with lead paint.
Yeah, lead paint. But we had like the logo on it, right? There was some like skull and crossbones. And then and just a nice 8-foot gap of cement. That, I mean, the slightest slip, cracked head, brains everywhere. No one ever did jump into the pool.
No one ever did.
And the deep end was like 6 feet. But it was just fire away. Just fire away.
Whatever you want.
Yeah. Edge of the pool, solid 15 feet from the power line that's sagging over the fire.
But there's some fresh laid pine straw around it.
Oh, yeah. And then I remember the water, like, we could never get it perfectly clean. So Seth would always just be like, so guys, like, my logic is like, I figure we just make this thing like super potent. So, like, err on the side of caution, which is like a sentence that was never uttered in that house.
No.
But was a, what was it when you didn't have to go through pledgeship and they just kind of gave you?
Alumni initiate.
Yeah, which is just a way of saying like, whatever, man, you can come in. And Seth was cool as fuck. Everyone loves Seth. Yeah. No one was ever like, he's not a real brother. It was just understood. Nope, Seth's a brother. Fuck off. Why is Seth a brother? Well, Seth works on pools, and we have a pool.
Yeah, we need.
Is there a relation between that? Nope, definitely not a relation. No ulterior motive. Like, and I love Seth. Seth sticks. But yeah, Seth used to come and he just like, he'd be like, Tommy, come help me. Like, you're a biology major. And I'd be like, this has nothing to do with like pool toxicity. He'd be like, good enough. And I'd be like, no, it's not, but fuck it, let's do it. It's all about the illusion of knowing what we're doing. And we go back into the back end of that thing that we used to jump off of, that garage where, where the back wall was missing and the house just kind of, that structure just kind of deteriorated. It was just, the wall was hanging down and there was just like birds in there. And we'd get out these old buckets of what looked like a serial killer stash of remains, just these big old drums. And we'd open it up and he'd be like, all right, he'd eyeballing it. And he'd have like a spoon from the kitchen. And I'd be like, yeah, so it says you should add like 1/2 gram per 100 gallons. So I'm thinking like maybe a thimble for the whole pool, if even. And he'd dump out like one of those like big cups, big gulps you get from the Braves games, the big old plastic, like 40 ounces. You fill that whole fucker up and just dump it in.
Just dump it in.
Turn on the jets and be like, that'll mix it up.
Oh,
he'd be like, is anything going to live in there? And I'd be like, no, there's definitely going to be no germs living in there. But like, I don't know if we're going to live in there.
Yeah, I think we'll survive either.
Yeah. And I remember one night we were burning shit, and I was like, Seth, like, it'd be one thing if, like, a pledge went and grabbed it, but I was like, Seth, go grab some shit. Because, you know, we didn't ever have firewood. It was just, what possessions are we burning tonight?
Yeah.
And I remember he just went into the pool house and, like, you know, grabbed some old shit, some, like, I don't mean, like, grab some 2x4s from the pool house. I mean, like, took them off the pool house.
Took them off the floor.
Yeah. Like, just here's part of the superstructure. We're going to burn this. And then I remember he came out with, like, one of those drums. And just, like, threw the drum on there. I remember the flames were, like a dark turquoise. And I was just, like, I remember just getting out of the way of, like, the smoke trail. Because I was like, that's just chlorine gas. Or just, you know. And, you know, when you'd build a fire in Valdosta, you know how the smoke would just kind of float through the streets? There was no... like circulation. It would just the next morning you could go out there and you could tell when there were bonfires because I would wake up at 5 and walk to the gym, and I would just look around and it would just be a big morning fog, and after a while it was like there's only fog on Friday mornings after a Thursday night. Oh, okay, what is that? It's all the bonfires. Mind you, I'd always go work out in the morning because we didn't have hot water, so I'd get really hot at the gym and come back and the cold water would be refreshing.
That'd be nice.
Yeah, there's my hot water. Yeah, man, that was good. It's good that they're probably kicked off. I think some lives were probably saved.
Yeah.
I mean,
they have a new PICAP chapter now, so
at Valdosta?
Yeah, so it's like a new chapter. Yeah.
I mean, I remember I always used to think when I was there, I'd be like, how come no alumni ever, like, come donate to this thing and make it better? And now I get it.
Yeah.
You're like, fuck that. You're like, I hope you guys are having a blast. Like, you know, if you're in town, I'll buy them some beer. Like, I did that in, like, 2015. I was there one weekend. I bought all of them some beer and liquor. I was like, you know, whatever. Be a cool alumni. But I remember, because wasn't it the founder of Georgia Power was part of that chapter back in, like, the 60s?
Yeah, and then
but he transferred to UGA, and then, you know, over the next 30 years became a multi-billionaire. And I remember he, like, built, like, a parking garage at UGA. He, like, paid for their new, like, 4-story mansion. And I remember we were always so bitter because we were like, he went through Pledge Up here, did his first 2 years here, but then went to the UGA chapter, which has been there since, like, 1780. And it was like, in hindsight, I'm like, oh, because there's actually, like, rules and regulations in that one. And you're kind of adding on to this thing that, you know, it's like joining the Yankees. Like, you want to do good because it's already, like, an institution of excellence. You want to add to it, right?
There's no saving that place in Valdosta.
No.
There's no saving that.
No. I'm like, why didn't he donate to it? And now I'm like, oh, okay.
Because it was hopeless.
Because you're smart. Because you're a smart man. He probably wanted, not only was it hopeless, he was probably like, I found this, like, massive corporation. Like, I can't have any ties to this place other than, like, loose rumors. Psychopaths. You know? If it's a composite, I can just say that was forged. I can't have any financial statements going to this place because it's only a matter of time before that chapter is charged with, like, rape, kidnapping, and or murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like when that fucking wildlife, like the fish and game guy came, like, looking for an alligator.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was my second semester, my sophomore year. So I'm at the last, like, couple months I was there, and the guy came looking for an alligator. And I was like, why would we have an alligator? And he was like, well, we have, like, anonymous reports that you guys kidnapped an alligator. Yeah, and I remember just thinking, I was like, if I called in an anonymous report on just anyone and said I think they kidnapped an alligator, they'd be like, stop using this phone line. Like, you're clogging it up. But that just means that there was, like, an air of validity. They were like, oh, that might have happened.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably.
If I call Disney World and I'm like, you know, you have 10 minutes to evacuate your campus or I'm going to blow it up with a nuclear, it'd be like, fuck this guy. And, you know, hang up. But if you got, like, this untraceable number from, like, a cave in, like, Iraq, you know, you might actually call the FBI. So they got a call about an alligator missing, and it might have been them, and they were like, hey, we should probably go send someone there on a Saturday morning. Send a uniformed officer.
Where we're going to keep it, in the pool?
That's what they thought. They thought it would be the pool, and then they checked the bathrooms. And it turned out it wasn't us. It was Kappa Sig. They had kidnapped an alligator and beheaded it with a shovel.
Very nice.
Yeah. Because it was Georgia, Florida weekend. So, you know.
God. A bunch of psychos. We put like catfish in the pool one time because we hadn't cleaned it, and we thought it would eat all the algae. So we put like 4 catfish in there.
You actually did that?
Yeah.
That's like, I have never heard this.
It's so stupid.
But no, the thing is the fact that I'm not like surprised and that I've not even heard it, and it's not like, did you hear about that? It's like, oh, okay, that's just another chapter that I didn't hear. That's just part of the book I didn't read. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you put catfish in the pool.
Put catfish in the pool and tried to get them to eat the algae.
But they all
died? They died.
Yeah, okay,
They
died.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. It's like, like they didn't, like the year before I got there, it's like 2008, I think they went over, they called it like the Christmas raid. I remember Kyle, I won't say his last name, who was the, that was a close one. He was my pledge class's warden, and the year before I was there, right when he got initiated, apparently he took off all of his clothes except for a Santa hat and Santa socks and went next door and stole their televisions, and then called it like the Christmas raid, as if it had any historical importance or it was a tradition. Had nothing to do with any of that. And then they came and threw paint in our pool. So apparently our guys went over and slashed all the tires to their trucks, at which point they put a dead cat in our pool. And then there was they actually had to go to like the police, like everyone involved, and like sign like basically like a non-aggression treaty. God damn, man. But you know what? This is all in the 2000s. I mean, what happened in fraternities across the Southeast from like the 60s through the 90s? Like what?
Where it became just a total shit show between the 2000s and
no,
now.
I mean like because it's always like whatever happens now is always less crazy than what happened then, and that goes across everything in life. Right now, we have BLM, we have Antifa, we have these big clashes between Biden and Trump supporters. But I mean, this isn't the 70s where it was like actual fire hoses being blasted on, you know, actual lynchings, segregation, where you have to send the National Guard. So it's always more insane then, right? We protest the war now versus the National Guard shooting and killing American college students in Kent State. Like, that's insane to even contemplate. You know, Iraq war bad versus Vietnam, 56,000 Americans getting drafted and sent to their deaths involuntarily, right? And it's which doesn't hold a candle to 30 years prior to that, World War II, fighting morphined up Nazis. So if we know about all this shit, catfish and dead cats and beheaded alligators, and I mean, what happened prior, where there wasn't an abundance of documentation, iPhones and Facebook, and you get what I'm saying? Like, what happened between like 1960 and because like everything that happened there is just like what happened in normal society. You hear normal college stories from the 2000s. What happened in Valdosta was just always ratcheted up 9 more levels. So whatever craziness was happening in the 70s and 80s and 90s, you know, had to have just been amplified in Valdosta. Like, that's what, right? That's what logic would point to.
Yeah, logically speaking, yeah.
So like what actually like murder?
Stu Cook played for the Braves.
What?
I said Stu Cook played for the Braves.
What are you talking about? A Pike
never
Atma?
mind.
Okay,
Yeah, you don't know Stu Cook?
Didn't he die?
Yeah.
You said he played for the Braves?
Yeah, he used to say that he played for the Braves and for the Falcons.
I don't think that's true.
Like that. Yeah, it's not true.
Yeah, I don't. But that just okay. But yeah, again,
Yeah,
even that's not
like people would believe stuff like that.
like, oh yeah, no, I was there, was watching them. Yeah, I am Hank Aaron. Oh wow, do you know Hank Aaron was a beta? Really? You racist motherfuckers let him in? Wow, wow, how progressive of you guys. It's yeah, like what had to have happened then? I mean, the year after I left, 2011 is when I went to UGA. I remember that fall, Pi Cap Beta Tau chapter in Valdosta made the news because I remember like my like roommate who I'd gone to high school with, then had moved in with at UGA, was like, "Hey, did you hear about?" And this is when all of my friends were still there, and like so, including like your brother. They were all still there, all guys we knew. And I was like, "What happened?" And someone had pulled a gun, I think on Grant. Someone at Purple Haze. What else? Mm-hmm. Someone, there's some stupid alcohol fueled reason. Probably someone made out with someone's girlfriend. Jared, not pointing any fingers. But
they wanted that.
They wanted it.
They were asking for it.
That was my defense. They were asking for it. Yeah, but like, so I think something happened to Grant where someone pulled out a revolver and pointed at Grant. So, same guy that broke into the frat house is the Christmas guy. Mm-hmm. He jumped on this guy and bit his ear off. Do you not remember that?
Yeah, oh yeah, I remember this.
Yeah, and that almost got them kicked off campus.
Yeah, I wasn't in school. I wasn't in college. I was still in high school at this time, but I remember that happening, yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing that on the news.
Happens, man.
No, but that's the thing is that doesn't happen. That's not like a yeah, you know, live and let. No, like no. There was like a whole investigation, and apparently like the head police guy came in and was supposed to talk to him, and then like revealed that he was an alumni and just let it slide. Like, I mean, it's been almost 10 years since I lived there, and it still leaves me speechless talking about it. Like, I know everyone's always, we were so wild when we were younger. No, like, there was like they used to say workers for Steve Jobs, guys that were close to him, said that there was they called it a reality distortion field. And again, these aren't morons like you and me. These are like the CTO, the CFO.
Yeah.
These guys that worked with Steve Jobs said that there was a reality distortion field around them. Not in some like force field, but they said when you got close to them, things that seemed impossible became possible. And again, that sounds like some cheesy line, but then you remember that Apple was recently valued at $2.27 trillion.
Right.
This is the most, I don't know if they're still the most valuable corporation in the world. It might be them or Amazon. But so these are top guys at the most valuable corporation of all time, behind maybe like the West East Indies. And they said there was a reality distortion field. They said you'd be walking to a meeting with the other guy and be like, I don't know how we're gonna get this acquisition, and the blah 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 blah. I have a business suit and a suitcase. Blah 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 blah. And they go near Jobs, and he would just like exude this like aura of like, we will fucking do anything, we will crush everyone in our path.
Yeah.
And it happened. So they called it to the point where they called it a reality distortion field. Why did I just say distortion? A distortion field. It's a reality distortion field. That's annoying. And that's what I think of when I think of that chapter. There is a reality distortion field. Like nothing, yeah. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm just, for everyone listening, I'm sorry. I know we're just jerking each other off to these old stories, but like, we're so crazy. But like, I don't know.
Have you seen, I feel like they probably feel the same way about like Elon Musk over at Tesla, SpaceX and all that.
I'm sure there is, yeah.
Because, I mean, so there's a story about whenever he worked at Tesla, he wanted somebody to create a door that had basically no seams on it. So it was just like, looked more like a wall, and it would, could open and close. Sure. And the guy was like, yeah, man, that's impossible. That can't be done. He said, can I talk to you outside? And take back, all right, who would like to try?
Yeah. Did it happen or no? So it didn't happen?
Probably not. Probably didn't happen, but they're probably still working on it. I recently watched that like neural chip that they're doing.
Neuralink?
Have you seen that?
I haven't seen
Yeah,
that.
the Neuralink.
I've heard there was a big thing that came out recently.
Yeah. I mean, right now it looks like it's only being used for like reading brain waves and stuff like that. Yeah. So they plugged into like pigs' heads.
Yeah.
And so every time their snout, they're using their like smell scent, it's reading the brain waves of it and stuff like that. It's pretty interesting. I don't know how they're going to apply that and make it more useful, but eventually it'll probably be to the point where we'll be able to like Google shit in our heads, and then like we can have a conversation through telekinesis at some point.
Well, I mean, go from like suitcase-sized cell phones to iPhones. It's all the same thing. It's just after a long enough time. But yeah, you follow the path along. I mean, 4 terabytes of memory.
Yeah.
Right? Size of a Game Boy, and cost $109 and was shipped in 2 days. In 1960,
40 years ago, you'd have been. That would have taken up your entire bedroom, and that would have cost millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, 4,000 gigabytes, 4 trillion bytes. There are images of 1960 of someone or like some government lab ordering 5 megabytes of memory. 5 million bytes. If I send you an image right now of my dick, doesn't matter how tiny it is, even all the resolution of the background, that image will be 4 to 5 megabytes.
Yeah.
Right? This thing was the size of an air conditioning unit, and they had to use a fucking forklift to put it on the back of a plane.
To get it up.
No, on the back of a plane, because this is how it had to be delivered.
Oh my god!
Millions of dollars, 5 megabytes. Yeah. So on a long enough timeline, pig snout now. Dystopian brain control.
Yeah.
Jared, fill the gap. I gotta go piss again.
All right, sounds good, guys.
Jared,
everybody,
take the reins.
Click below. Smash that like button.
Don't say that.
Tell Tommy you love him. Tommy brings out the best in content right now. Let's see. We are in this. So you guys go find Tommy on Instagram at I believe it is TPC or TCP podcast, and as well on Facebook at just Tommy Kerrigan, where you can find him, and he will always post every video that he makes on his Facebook. You can view him at work, you can view him at home. This one might be a little unsafe for work, but put your AirPods in, put your headphones on, you'll be all right. Let's see. What else is happening this week? Football comes back next Sunday. Everybody's real excited about that. That's NFL football, real football. Any football in capacity started last week. We had a couple big games going on. Not really. They were all Conference USA, Southern Conference. A lot of teams you don't care about.
What are you talking about?
What's up, Tommy? I'm telling the people that football's back and why they should be excited.
It is.
It is back.
Is it college or NFL or both?
NFL starts back this week. College has been back for about a week or 2 weeks now.
So because you and I are both medical professionals who work at the CDC, what's happening with COVID? What stage are we moving into? Are we ever inching back towards reality, normality?
I don't know. It depends on who wins in November.
You think so?
So, I mean, if Biden wins, it'll probably be all over. And if Trump wins, it'll be like 4 more years of disaster. So, and I'm not saying that to be like, hey, endorse Biden. I'm saying that to be like, hey, the Democratic Party's pretty scary.
Yeah, it's. I don't think there is like a peaceful option this fall.
No, there's no kind of rational option for us anymore at this point. It's just
we're just
give the people what they want, or just suffer for the rest of it.
Just all your cities will be burned down.
Yeah, all your cities are just going to be burned down, and
that is a convincing argument, though. If you just ignore the morality of it, it's hey, what's a stronger campaign than you can go picket and phone bank, or we'll burn down your fucking neighborhood.
Yeah, or you're gonna burn all your shit.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, I'm not condoning it, but let's just look at the facts.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I'm probably gonna stay out of it this year. I don't know. I don't want to choose between either of them.
Well, you got it.
So,
you got it. It's
you don't have to.
You don't have to do anything, bitch.
You don't do anything.
Yeah, I'm voting for Gumby, right?
Yeah. I mean, you can write in whoever you want. It's just, I think it's just as pointless. Like, why am I going to waste my time going to vote if I'm just going to write in anyway?
Sure. I've thought about that. I mean, the first election I remember was 2000. I remember watching, like, it being contested, like, the recounts. I just vaguely, like, I don't even know if I remember it, but I remember knowing that something, like, wasn't right. That, like, why is this election thing still happening? Like, I vaguely remember, like, watching a TV with my little brother and, like, not knowing what the fuck was going on. But I remember it was, like, it was Florida and something. And I remember that Bush was running. Who ran against Bush in 2000?
Kerry.
No, that was 2004. Who the fuck ran against Bush in 2000? Who the
I see that put me in kindergarten. So.
Was it Al Gore?
Yeah, it was Al Gore.
It was?
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Bush, 2000 presidential election. Yeah, Al Gore. Yeah, I mean, I remember Bush because I remember reading, I was building a card castle, and I was reading not readable, it just so happened to, like, look at it. There was, like, a newspaper with a political cartoon, and I vividly remember just seeing W, D-O-B-Y-A, and as a moronic 10-year-old, I thought that was so clever that they mentioned W as W, and I was like, wow. Not for better or worse, I just remembered W, so I know Bush was running, but, yeah, like, I remember that, and so point being is, but what I do remember each election. So I remember that, but the first one I actually 2004, because I was in middle school. I was in 8th grade, so yeah, I remember it, and I remember it kind of seeming then it was like there doesn't seem to be like a good option, just in my just 14-year-old mind, and I remember thinking like third party no, because then you're just throwing away your vote. But then I remember in 2008, I remember it was kind of the same. It was, well, if you don't like either, just go with third party. That's throwing away your vote. 2012, 2016. But now I'm looking at it like, if everyone had, or whoever wanted to have done that back in 2004 did it, I mean, with every passing election, there would be more people that, I mean, you can just rename third party as, like, fuck it, right? You could just say, fuck it, I don't want either of you. Fuck you both, You don't think they're going to win, but it's it's the wild card. It's the lottery ticket. Like, fuck it, whatever. I'm putting all.
I would like if we did that, but then we made it an actual lottery ticket where it's like, I don't want either of these people, and then every American citizen they use a social security number to pick who's going to be the next president of the United States.
I'd be 1,000% on board with that.
And so for that.
But the point being is like, why is it throwing away your vote? Because it's a third party. They don't get like a big enough name. Well, if enough people say fuck it for enough number of elections in a row, I mean, it might take 4, 5, 6, 7 elections. And that's what's unappealing. It's like, oh, so it's not going to be in my lifetime. But I mean, if enough people have been, because people have been saying, if you vote third party, you're throwing away your vote. But people have been saying that since like civil rights was an issue, right? Mm-hmm. Civil rights are still an issue. Yeah, fucking, I get it. Okay, wrong. Vietnam, sorry. Right? But if it had happened enough times, there would now actually be a third party. Would that fix anything? I don't know. But I think it's a better shot at anything being fixed. Because if there's a third party, you don't have the duality of, I like them, but I like the whole lower taxes, but I don't like the whole, gays can't marry and, no abortion. I like the whole being liberal on like alcohol or on drug use and abortion and gay marriage, but I'm gonna stop fucking taking all my money and stop like burning my house down. Right?
I'd like to be able to vote for capitalism and also be able to vote for like fairness among others.
Yeah, let everyone.
Which I guess it's kind of like a not possible thing because capitalism does thrive off things not being fair.
Yeah.
But everybody's gonna Somebody's gonna take a hit,
right?
you know.
Right, and so I mean, they have their lines, and then it seems like that's beneficial to whoever's in charge. Is that there's never one easy. You know, if you say that you want pay less money in taxes, that seems very common sense. If you say you think gay people should be able to get married and there should be abortion and free to do whatever you want with drugs, like that seems common sense, right? But it seems like it's strictly divided between two, because that's the only way you can pass through the other's horse shit. Well, we're going to take all your money.
Get like all the other good, like all the benefits of it.
Yeah,
like
you want those low taxes, that's fine, but you know that these motherfuckers are going to somehow steamroll us into a war, right?
Yeah,
they're all for social justice, but you know this is somehow going to rape your entire paycheck, and you're not going to be able to say words like faggot or retard anymore, right? And it seems like it's two. And so, what's the natural conclusion? Well, what if there's a third party that said, "Hey, take the best. Here's an option." Well, why don't we have that? Because not enough people vote for that. Why aren't enough people vote for that? Because fuck it, it's throwing away your vote. So I've thought about it a lot. I mean, I'm someone that's voted on both sides of the aisle. Obama 2008, Romney 2012, Bernie in the primaries 2016. Didn't vote in the actual 2016 election. And I like Trump, right? I don't get it, right? It's sick hell, I'm a Nazi. Yeah, I've heard it a million times. But I'm thinking now more and more that I might not vote Trump. I might vote third party, because that's, in my gut, that is what I think is truly the best. And I don't think I'll see it in my lifetime. But I think if I do it every election, and you get one other person to do it, and this is very quickly sounding like a cult, and if you get two more people and I get two, right? Yeah. No, but I mean, do it enough times. Maybe it's not until 2080, 2180, I don't know. But eventually, there'd be a third party, and it's...
I feel like by that time, we'll probably burn this place to the ground pretty good. So. Sure.
I mean, yeah. But if it doesn't, I mean, I don't know. And maybe we're being nihilistic. Who's to say that we're not all being so pessimistic, and all it takes is one election, people saying, "Yeah, fuck it, third party," and not even coordinated, and all of a sudden you're like, "Holy shit!"
I mean, the silent majority is pretty overwhelming this year. I think we're all over it at this point. We want everybody to shut the hell up.
Everyone's like, "Fuck off, go home."
Yeah, but then like you look into. Because I've always thought, like, oh, maybe I'm just, like, a libertarian. So I'll look into libertarian politicians and stuff. You're like, dude, you don't want anything. Like, you gotta have some sort of control.
Yeah. They're like, I think we get completely rid of the police and the military. Yeah. No taxes.
Yeah, you're like everything.
You're like, no, like we need highways.
No. Like, that works in like a vacuum.
There have to be like fire departments and stuff. Like we can't. Yeah. They're like nothing ever. It's just all warring tribes of anarcho-capitalists. You're like, no, that's not good either. Yeah. What I'm approaching more and more is just like a general kind of appreciation for how things are. And I know that sounds like the most batshit retarded statement. Like, what do you mean how things are? Everything's bad, right? But no, I'm just looking at it in general. Like, for like the vast majority of time, it's been like most people were like slaves or like illiterate with like no like, you know, even antibiotics or shoes or clean roads or air conditioning systems or written language or internet or power. And I'm like, we have all of that. And just in general, like, I have internet connection, like the fan's working. I took a shower this morning, shaved. But I have glass, but if I want, I can put in my contacts too. Like, things are pretty good. Like, that doesn't mean like don't go vote, but part of me is just like, things are like, all things considered, like, it's a pretty ball.
We're doing
time.
Pretty good. Like, we're doing pretty great.
We're in a pandemic, yet we still have, like, I have a 4K Xbox next to me that I'm gonna game later. Like, you know.
And what we're all really focused on right now is making memes of dogs telling each other to go fuck themselves.
Yeah. Or like coffin memes, you know. There's a pandemic and we're like got the coffin meme with the planet on it. Like, it's, then that doesn't mean don't go vote. Like, you know, there's some quote from some Rage Against the Machine song. It's like, don't turn off politics or politics will turn on you. I always thought that was like, you ignore it. That's how you wake up and you're like, oh, this is okay. So we're all going to.
Oh shit! Yeah.
You can hear my dad's in it. My dad has a TR6, like an old sports car. I don't know if you can hear it. He's pulling into the basement beneath or the garage below me.
Nice.
It's like shaking my whole room right now. But like, it's. I mean, I look at the two. But by the way, don't let me keep you.
I
can keep because I can keep. Yeah, I just I beat people verbally into the ground, and I forget that.
Gotcha. I'll probably get off about 10, 15 from here, but we're good for right now.
Do 4:30?
Yeah, 4:30 sounds good.
Yeah, I always forget that people watching like don't have like the timestamp. So I'm always like, can you do like 17 more minutes? It's like, that's an odd. I got a couple more points to touch on. I've practiced my speech. I know exactly how long it goes. It's like an 8th grade speech. I'm at 4:55, right? Yeah. But in 2016, did you know only 27% of the voting eligible population voted? And that's not 27% of society, because a lot of people are under 18, not citizens, felons, whatever. 27% of the voting eligible population voted. 73, so out of every 100 people who can vote, able, legal, out of every 100 that can vote, 73 did not. So 3/4 of people are not even voting. Like,
yeah, so that's
insane.
That makes it seem a little more possible for
anything to happen.
Yeah, for
anything, not even independent, Biden, Trump, whatever, for anything to happen. 3/4 of people didn't vote, and there's this battleground between the 1/4 of people that did vote to get that 1/5 on their side, and it's like we're at each other's throats for pennies, but there's like a stack of hundreds over there that no one's touching. Like 73% of people just didn't vote. You can just didn't vote. And like I'm not you don't vote. I'm not trying to like put it down or condone it or not condone it or whatever. It's just a statement of fact. 73% of the voting age population did not vote. That's insane.
That's so wild.
That is insane.
Because when I was in college, I had a conversation with my professors about not voting, and he was like, he's like, "Were you going to vote this year?" And I was like, "No," and he's like, "Good." Well, that's the first time I've ever been told good to not vote. Okay. And he's like, "Well, I'll tell you why. It's because most of the people who vote and they're your age, they don't know what the fuck's going on. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea what any of these people's policies are for. They're just doing it because somebody is telling them to like them, and not because they think it's for the greater good." And so I was like, "Yeah, that is why I don't vote, because I have no idea what the hell's going on. Like, I have no idea."
Sure.
So I don't know. I mean, I'll probably end up voting this year, just because I feel like I would not be doing my civic duty this time if I didn't. I feel like all the years prior it hasn't been that big of a deal, and now it's like, okay, it's a big deal.
Yeah, all the years prior, like apathy, although it's like kind of frowned upon, it's frowned upon in that like the same way like you don't eat your vegetables or something. It's like, I get it, but then it's like now you're like 55 and you have like chest pains and you're like, I should probably start taking my multivitamin.
Eat a salad,
I should probably. Normally it's like, the seriousness of it is always kind of drummed up. It's Obama and Romney. It's and you're like, oh wow, but it's whatever. You get in the car and you go to work. You have school. It's whatever. It's just okay. Yeah. There's a war going on. Whatever. But now it's like a global pandemic and like there's like riots in the streets and it's like it's kind of seeming like it's a little closer to my front door.
Yeah, and one guy has dementia and the other guy is just out of his. It's just a troll.
Honestly, is PyCap personified?
Yeah, I mean, he's just a troll, and he's like, I understand that he says things, and he really does not mean them. He says things because he knows it pisses other people off. Because I'm that kind of guy. Like I say things,
I do,
just to get a rise out of people.
That's the only.
He probably doesn't mean half the stupid things he says, but he knows that it's going to piss you off, and it's going to make people freak out, and then that's going to get other people that are, already leaning away from the left to go on his side because they're tired of hearing these people on the left freak out about everything.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think there's just a huge conglomerate in the middle of these voters, and they don't want to go either way because they know that either way is going to lead to a shit show.
Maybe it is third party. Maybe it's just like the least I think that is the lesser of all evils. It's not one or the other.
It was just a third party. It is the lesser of all evil, but I don't think there's no one that's ever been appealing in a third party.
No, but the thing is like
Anderson Cooper was one of the most appealing independent parties of all time.
But that's the thing is like, to me, I'm not even looking at a candidate. I'm just like the aspect of like a third party on like, you know, because even now the Congress is held by Democrats. Oh, the Congress is held by Republicans. It's like there's no like independent, you know. It's, to me, it's like it doesn't even matter who's running for independence so much as like it's just to sort of push the needle a little bit. And, you know, maybe this election, I don't know what percentage of votes independent normally gets. Let's say it's 4%. I have no idea. If in 2024 people are looking at it and they're going, well, it did get 5.4% last time, and then in 2028 they're going, oh, man, independent got 7. Like, it's still nothing, but it's like, but that's what it takes, and it goes, you know, and then next thing you know, it's like all of a sudden it crashes. The tsunami crashes. For 99% of a tsunami's lifespan, it's 99% of a tsunami's lifespan. It's just a bump on the horizon. Yeah, it's the final 1% of its lifespan that it crashes on shore and kills 100,000 people. It's the vast majority. You know, computers, for most of its lifetime, you don't know anything about it. It's a punch card or a vacuum tube or it's some abstract course or whatever. And then all of a sudden, Moore's law goes to an extent to where all of a sudden it's accessible for everyone to have an iPhone. Like, the iPhone didn't just come out of the ether. Like, this was like 50 years in the making. Maybe that's what it is like, no one's going to see it, but all of a sudden it's going to crash, and it's now there's a third party. But I'm also like, I am like pessimistically kind of looking at it like, is looking at all of this, you know, is it as hopeless as Beta Tau chapter? We're going to fix it this time. Do you just kind of let it run?
No, you kind of just let it run.
You just let it run.
It seems like it. You shouldn't.
Yeah. But it's like Beta Tau chapter, like you can leave, right? You can go to a different school. You can just forget about it and be like, yeah, whatever. Like, this whole country is the Beta Tau chapter. Like, we can't leave it, right? It's here. This is the thing. Like, you can't move at it. You can, but if you're in the country, like, the whole country is the frat house, right? The frat house, you can leave. You can just leave. You can delete all the numbers and just like never look back, right? You can't. You can't do that here. You can, but then who the fuck wants to go to a different country, right?
Well, you can't. You can't even. The United States doesn't recognize dual citizenship.
Yeah.
So if you become a citizen of another country, you have to renounce your citizenship in the United States, unless you're born with dual citizenship. Yeah. But the United States doesn't recognize you as a Canadian citizen anyway.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's not even like this is just some like backwoods country where, you know, it's not like it's not like it's like Belarus where it's like you can just leave and it's like, yep, whatever, it's Belarus. It's like the biggest, most influential place in the world. So it's like you leave, but it is still, in a lot of ways, it's still like, it does sway the entire world. Yeah. So it's like, we're here, we're part of it. I think you gotta vote. And like, I hate it because to me that just sounds like everything I hated hearing growing up. But you gotta go vote. You can't be. And it's just like, okay, fuck it. I just want to play N64. Fuck off. Like, now it's like, I guess I should.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and you also think like when your parents were in their 30s and like you're probably 30 now, in the late 20s. And now we're kind of seeing it too, and it's like, shit, I've been dicking around for the last 10 years, and I probably should have been voting the whole time.
Yeah,
like, I'm just being ignorant at this point. Like, I just don't care.
The building's on fire, and you're like, hey, can you get me like a Triscuit from like the cafeteria? And it's like, this thing's collapsing. You're like, I'll take a lemonade.
Oh, no Triscuits.
Bob just jumped out of the window. You're like, so what are you telling me? Are we doing this thing or not? Because I'll go get it myself. I just, I really don't want to. I kind of got yours for you yesterday. It's kind of your turn. I guess you're not. Fine. I'll fucking go get it myself. Yeah.
Fine.
And then the second you go vote, you become a cunt that advocates for it. You're like, I went and got my Trisket, all right? And it's like for the first time in 9 years. It's like, well, I now vote. And so you can't be apathetic, right? Meanwhile, the president of the second largest power in the world, Xi Jinping, what am I doing? I'm wearing a fucking Winnie the Pooh shirt because I'm like, how is this any? Yeah, it's, I don't know, man. Let's 7 more minutes. Exactly 7 more minutes. It's 7 more minutes till the bomb goes off. Let's make some look back at our last episode. It was actually we talked about Valdosta too.
Yeah, most of the last episode was those two.
Yeah, but what was going on? Antonio Brown was. Oh yeah, I was gonna go watch the Pats game and my internet.
Yeah, you watched the Pats game.
So yeah, we got like booted. Yeah, that's right when it got yanked off Reddit.
Yeah,
remember?
The NFL streams got yanked off Reddit.
Yeah, even that was like, it was just a matter of time.
Yeah.
But that was the biggest thing of the day was Antonio Brown's gonna go play with Tom Brady, and now there's COVID. Kobe's dead. Most American cities are on fire. Let's make some predictions. It's been almost 9 months since the last one, but what are some I'll have you on. I mean, I'd like for you to come on it much more often, but you're a tease and you play hard to get, so. But
you're right.
You're for sure going to come on exactly 1 year from the first time you came on. Okay. Because I'm doing that with guest number 1 too, and I want to just compare it.
So December 15th of this year.
Yeah, I'll look it up right now. Yeah. What are some predictions? And clearly nothing is off the table. Kobe, imagine if last time you'd said Kobe's dead, there's going to be nationwide riots. Oh, and put me down for global pandemic. Right? You'd sound like the Nazis shooting up.
We should make a bingo card.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. But well, the first guest I had on, my friend Duran, we did this back in like May, maybe like early June, where we kind of had this conversation that we're having right now. And we're like, no one could have predicted COVID and Kobe, so let's make some guesses. And we were kind of joking around about a bunch of stuff, and then we finally concluded, we're like, someone's going to be killed. We're like, not just a celebrity death. It's going to be a murder. Because there's always celebrity death, but we're like, when's the last, like, murder? Like Tupac, Biggie. And we're like, someone's going to be unjustly murdered. And like an hour later, George Floyd was killed. And
oh, my.
You can go back and look at the video. It's that day. It's insane. And we're like, and we're talking, and we're like, and there's going to be some repercussions. And the next time we talk, something's going to have happened. And it's going to be called, it's going to be like the Rona. If you had said the Rona to someone in December, they'd be like, what the fuck is the Rona? But now it's COVID. So we're like, what is the thing? And whatever it was, we were wrong on the name. But he came back on again like a month ago, and we were like, yeah, the riots. If you had said the riots to us in May, we'd be like, what are the riots? So it's like, oh, the riots. And it's like, what are you talking about? The riots. All of that to say, what's in December? If December us can turn to us right now and say something, what is some, this is going on, what is it? Oh, there's going to be some stupid phrase or so. It's going to be like, oh, you mean Captain Lucky? We're going to be like, what is Captain Lucky? What could that possibly be, right? It's going to be something like that. Like, because think of how abstract the Rona or the riots are. Even Kobe. Did Kobe come back? Not quite. It's, it's...
Maybe.
Yeah. So, what is it? What is it?
I think Nancy Pelosi might be the president of the United States.
Wild card.
Yeah.
I don't think that's like that odd.
It's not it's not too far-fetched. I think that it's possible.
All things considered, I think that's probably one of like the least crazy prediction you could make. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that we'll end up not getting mail-in voting by November. COVID numbers are going to continue spiking.
I don't think we'll have mail-in because you're starting to see on Reddit now people are like, go vote because it's the only way you can get Trump out. Because they're now associating Trump. Trump is saying it's going to be Democrat fuckery, and now Democrats are saying it's going to be Trump fuckery. So no matter what, I think mail-in is just kind of like no one's trusting it now.
Yeah.
So
I don't know, man. I think there'd probably be. I mean, there's going to be a lot of bad things that happen between now and December. I'll tell you that.
Jesus.
There's no way around it.
December 15th. All right. So you came on December 15th.
Yeah.
A lot of bad things are going to happen.
Yeah, probably.
So when Duran and I were talking last time, after the riot started, I was like, he kind of said that what you were saying. He's like, whatever it is, it's just going to get worse. And I was like, Duran, that's terrible. I was like, let's try to find the silver lining, like, doe-eyed. And I was like, the silver lining is that there's going to be a bunch of protests, and we're going to see that Corona doesn't spread. And thus, we're all going to go back to work. Or Corona is going to spread, so all the protests are going to stop, and we're just going to get herd immunity. So I was like, there's a silver lining. Well, that didn't happen at all. It didn't. It did spread. It did spread, and now you've seen those articles that are like the social justice protests have not led to Corona spreading, but the Trump rallies have.
But everything else has.
And it's like, my spidey senses are tingling. I think there's a little fuckery here.
Yeah, I think there's little
sprinkles
of fuckery here.
Yeah, I think there's some dick cheese disinformation spread that's disgusting. So Nancy Pelosi president, I don't think that's far-fetched.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that's far-fetched at all. But it's gonna, whatever it is Biden wins, but if Biden wins, he's gonna win. He'll get the whatever popular and electoral. If Trump wins, I only see Trump winning in a landslide. I think if Biden wins, it will be like he'll win. And I think there's a 50-50 chance. I think Biden wins and it's just going to be a normal election. And in the reality where Trump wins, I see it being something retarded, like some Reagan landslide. That's not what I want. Crazy. I like Trump, but that's just like what my gut tells me. If Biden might win, there's a 50% chance Biden will win. If Trump wins, it'll be a ridiculous win.
I mean, so Vegas has Biden winning right now.
Yeah.
And usually, if I want to know if something's going to happen, I just check the Vegas odds for it.
Because that's the most unbiased. That's money.
Yeah, it's money, and that's
cold.
They're going to get the closest thing to the right answer as possible.
They don't give a fuck about the world burning. It's who's getting that spread.
Yeah, it's all data mining.
They don't give a. It's the most accurate shit ever. It is the only real news out there.
It's the most accurate thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, I bet Southern Miss to get the under the other night at 53.5 points. 53 points.
Damn.
And it's like that every single time. Like, when you try to bet the over or the under, it's either some anomaly happens and it is way over, or it is like just right on the button, right underneath it the whole time.
Yeah. So they have Biden winning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
it's like minus 110 right now, and then Trump's like plus 170, something like that.
Okay, so I know I started to let you go. I'll let you go in a minute. Yeah, I think there's a very good chance Biden will win.
Oh, yeah.
What is outside of that? Or does everything just simmer down?
Everything simmers down after that.
Everyone's finished screaming. They got their thing.
Yeah, they got their shiny stuff, and now it's going to be...
They got the pacifier.
We'll see what happens after that.
Let's just go back to the good old days of unjust war and consolidated money and bank bailouts.
Yeah.
Or is this all a ploy?
And then Bitcoin will probably be worth like $50,000 by then too.
Right now, Tesla is at 400. What is Tesla at? It was just at 2,200, but it split.
Yeah, they split like 6 times.
Split 5 times. Please get your fucking numbers right, dude. Jesus Christ. 418. Yeah, 418.32.
Sheesh.
It was at 400 over Christmas, and I remember at the time I had like $1,000 in savings, and I was like, maybe I'll buy some like Tesla. And I was like, yeah. Ended up spending shit to build this podcast, which I guess I don't regret. But it went up to like $2,300, and I was like, God damn it.
And then it split.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't matter. I mean, now you just have 5 times as many shares.
Yeah.
So, let's say Tesla doesn't split. What's Tesla at? If it went from 400 to 2,200
In December?
From December to last week.
And that would be like 625, 550, 625.
I think it only goes up 100 in 3 months. It went from 400 to 2,200 between December and September.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. A lot has happened.
2020 is it's not a normal year.
Yeah, well, so what's really booming for them is their batteries.
Which September 22nd, Battery Day.
Oh, really?
I don't even know what that means, but I know it's a big thing coming.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
You got me hooked. No, but really, it's apparently a fucking huge thing that's coming. Battery Day. Yeah. Sorry, keep talking.
That sounds pretty wild.
I interrupted you. Keep talking.
No, but that's pretty much all I have is that their batteries do really well. That's why I know a lot of my friends invest in them is because Battery Day.
Is the image mirrored for you, or can you read it?
No, I can read it.
Okay, it's mirrored for me. Yeah. Battery Day.
Interesting.
Battery Day. Tesla. Big announcements expected. Tesla Battery Day in focus. All right. Tesla Battery Day rumors. 1 million mile battery. Jesus. I mean.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, it'll still be a bull market. I just don't think it'll be as strong as it's been over the last few months. It's been just out of this world. But all EVs, like all kind of electric vehicle companies, have been really booming throughout the whole, I guess, recession, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. And, okay, so Biden president. If Biden's not president, it's Trump winning in a landslide. And then equal % chances that Pelosi is president.
Yeah.
Tesla is at 650. Bezos recently broke 200 billion net worth, which is insane.
Bezos gets divorced again.
He's at 193.5, so he lost $6 billion last night. But okay, he's at 193.
Well, I guess he'd have to get married again to get divorced again. But
yeah, he's not stupid. He's not doing that again.
I don't think so. And that's the only way you could take down Amazon is by Bezos have to get divorced about 8 times.
What if he and his wife are in on it, and this is just a way to lower his net value so he can pay less taxes?
That would be insane.
I wouldn't put it past it. If you're smart enough to make $200 billion, you're smart enough to do that. Right? And all of us peons eat it up. We're all like, gossip, get divorced. No one's batting an eye. Like, is this motherfucker just dodging the SEC? I say Bezos hits, I say he hits 300 billion. I think he hits 300 billion by December 15th.
Yeah, that's pretty. I think that's definitely doable.
Okay.
If Amazon unloads there, I can't wait till they unload those blimps that just shoot out drones with packages.
Oh, Jesus, yeah. Yeah. Bezos, 300 billion. Biden president, Trump landslide, Pelosi president, Tesla 650. Let's throw in 5 more shit ones. How's Tom Brady do? Tom Brady
undefeated
or broken femurs?
Yeah, they probably are number 1 in the Southeast or in the NFC South. They'll probably be number 1 in the NFC South by then. And let's see, Tom Brady probably won't get MVP this year. I don't think he will, but they'll make the playoffs. But that will be after December, I think.
What about the Patriots?
Patriots are going to come in probably dead last this year. They'll probably have the first pick of the draft this year.
Does Tom Brady go back to the Patriots?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely
he goes home to Giselle eventually.
Okay.
I think this is his last ride. Either this or ends up going out to like San Francisco or somewhere in California so he can start working on his movies and stuff like that.
He's a businessman.
Yeah, that's what I'd do.
He might not be winning football games, but that motherfucker's not winning. He's still winning.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I mean, he's not even technically the breadwinner in his relationship
Which
with
is
Giselle.
insane.
Like, she makes way more than him.
Which is insane. What if Giselle comes to you and says, Tom wants to watch you fuck me?
I guess I could do that, yeah. I mean, it would be like legendary.
They're a little too high profile to murder you.
Yeah, I think so too.
Or do they have the funds to pull that off?
They have the funds to pull it off.
Because who are you?
But
you're just someone disappearing.
I don't think it'd be very enjoyable to kill someone if you just paid somebody else to do it. Like doesn't really make sense on why you would try to kill.
No, I think they would do it.
it.
I think they would do it. They just have the fund. They know the right people to make sure that no investigation ever comes to them. Maybe that's what
kind of like that Mr. Wolf in Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, I don't know.
Where they shoot Marvin in the face.
I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah, it's maybe that's how they get off, knowing that. Because who are you? You're just Jared.
Yeah.
I'm just Tommy, right?
Well, that's what they were saying. That's what everybody was saying too at the bar. They're like, the worst part about it is you didn't it would have been like one of those random murders because like when you watch IDTV and Investigative Discovery, they're always like, yeah, it's one of those. The worst ones are when it's a random killing because then you have no leads to start with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
we've just been screwed.
And no one's gonna believe like your family's defense. Like, no, Jared went out to California to fuck Tom Brady's wife. Like, ma'am, please put down the meth pipe. Like, right?
Yeah. Absolutely not.
So Tom Brady, so they come in first in the South. Patriots come dead last. 3 more, Jared.
Let's see.
What happens with... Does Kanye pull off any shenanigans, or is this all publicity stunt?
There's probably going to be some huge unveilings of this new pedophilia ring that's coming out.
You think so?
Definitely some new kids are going to be found.
You think so? Because I feel like that's been right around the corner for several years.
What?
I feel like that's been right around the... Oh, wait, no, because that bitch is in jail, right?
Yeah, and then more kids are getting just found in droves now. They're being found in 39, 40 kids at a time in these apartments and stuff.
Jeez, that just made me nauseous.
Yeah. But ever since she's been found, they've been finding kids left and right. So I think that she's singing like a little bird, and she'll probably be dead in the next couple of months as soon as she gets closer to any of the Clintons.
I mean, that's not. I don't think that's a weird prediction. 2 more predictions. Does Ed Snowden get a pardon? Because Trump's been talking about it. Yeah.
Ed Snowden gets a pardon.
I think he'll do that right before the election. Because now,
that would be great.
If you're not for Trump, well, now you're not for these whistleblowers, right? There'll be some bullshit like that.
I think we discussed doing mail-in voting for 2024 after the 2020 election.
Yeah.
We start working because it's really it's not as sketchy as everybody thinks it's going to be.
I think
like people work in cybersecurity for hospitals all the time.
Well, Rogan said it. He was like, how do you do your banking? You do it online. If you can do your money online, you can do anything online. Because what is more important? Well, I got my groceries online, but no, your money, your fucking money. You're fucking nut. If we can do that, why can't we do this?
Yeah.
That's a good, why can't it just be why can't it just be an app?
Why can't it just be easy?
Why can't you get 100? Yeah. Why can't you get 100% voting instead of 27?
Yeah.
And okay, very last number of prediction is, what's Trump's trump card? If Trump really thinks he's about to lose, what's his trump card to win? Is it federally legalized pot? Is it make it a national holiday the day after the Super Bowl?
It's federally legalized pot, and then he's going to release the Pizzagate tapes on WikiLeaks. He's going to release the whole hard drive from Anthony Weiner's hard drive.
He'll just tweet it.
Yeah, just tweet it in the link.
I think the way to win is federally legalized pot, and the Monday after the Super Bowl Sunday is a federal holiday.
Yeah, that would be a great holiday. We've been talking about that for a while.
You will get people to come out and vote.
We use floating holidays at my company for the day after the Super Bowl.
You will get people to vote who never have voted in their life.
Yeah.
Day after the Super Bowl. That's how you get everyone out.
Yeah, that's how you get everybody out. Nobody wants to go. Like, why is just move the Super Bowl to fucking Saturday? Like,
that's not going to happen. So, because it's Super Bowl Sunday. So yeah. Think of how shitty that is. The biggest game of the year, and you have to go to work the next day.
Yeah, and you have to watch it until after midnight, and then go to work the next morning after you've been drinking all day.
Imagine game days in Athens where you had to work on Sunday. It just wouldn't work. It wouldn't happen.
No, people wouldn't be going to work.
No. All right. Biden president, Trump landslide, Pelosi president, Bezos $300 billion, Tesla $650, Patriots first in the South, Brady first in the South, Patriots dead last. Big pedophile scandal. More and more people come out. Ghislaine's gonna get killed in jail. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was after that?
Last one was Snowden pardon.
Ed Snowden pardon. Trump card.
Yeah, then Trump's Trump card.
Of weed, Super Bowl holiday, and Pizzagate.
Yeah.
None of that seems impossible.
No, none of it seems impossible.
It seems underwhelming, honestly. Yeah. I say undeniable UFO sighting.
Yes. I mean, we've already had one of those, but
one.
You know what? Let's take off one of these and do aliens. We get an actual alien visit.
Okay, I'll take off Super Bowl holiday. I don't think that's going to happen. That's not sad. That's the most unrealistic one.
That's the most unlikely one. The Super Bowl Monday.
Actual alien sighting. I say, but I mean, it can't be the one that's recent. Even though the recent one's pretty undeniable. I mean, like truly, over several cities. I mean, like every social media platform, millions of different camera angles. So it's not like CGI. Yeah. I mean, or it's going to be something like on the moon that everyone in the world can see.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I hope.
Or somebody takes the moon, like they steal the moon.
Just gone.
Yeah.
Where's the moon?
Oh, all of our tides are fucked.
No, nothing with the tides messes up. It's just the moon's just...
The moon's just gone.
And everyone's so unnerved by it, but like no one wants to be the first to say it because that makes it real. So everyone's just going about their day. Or the moon just gets closer and bigger. And no one's saying anything, but like the moonlight at night is like as bright as the sun. Right there. Well, this conversation has devolved in a retarded rant. So, Jared Bohannon, thank you for coming on my show. I love you.
Anytime,
I miss you. I miss you.
I miss you too. Love you too.
I love you more. I miss you more. Seriously, though, dude, please be a regular. I have a lot of people that are regulars, and you're not one of them, and that it hurts. It hurts.
Gotcha.
It hurts.
Sounds good, Tommy. I'll let you know every time I get some free time on me, and we'll do an hour or two for you.
Please do. Yeah, this was an hour and a half. We can do 30-minute ones if you just want to hop in and out. All right,
Sounds
big dog.
good, buddy.
All right, big dog. Stay sexy, stay safe, and hail Cthulhu.
Yes, sir. You do the same, brother.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.